I'm Ethan Walker, I said, usually saying it like an apology. I work accounts, I rent a room, I take the bus. Madison laughed softly. You always say it like that. Like what? Like you're asking permission to exist. I shrugged. It's just facts. Facts can be boring, she said. Or limiting. We sat in the break room, paper cups between us. She tapped her phone. Did you see Tyler's new car? I saw him polishing it, I said. Hard to miss. It's gorgeous, she said. Black leather. Heated seats. I'm happy for him. She smiled sideways. You're sweet. Too sweet sometimes. I asked, is that bad? It's not bad, she said. It's safe. I told her about my mornings, the bus schedule memorized, the driver who nodded at me. I'm saving, I said. Just not there yet. She stirred sugar. Yet is doing a lot of work. What does that mean? It means ambition has wheels, she said. Literally. I laughed, trying to keep it light. So I need tires to qualify. Don't twist it, she said. I just want more. More than me. She hesitated. More than waiting. Tyler walked in, keys dangling. You guys talking cars? Madison brightened. Always. He grinned at me. You should take a ride sometime, Ethan. Maybe, I said. Madison said, he still takes the bus. Tyler blinked. Oh. It's temporary, I said quickly. Madison leaned back. Temporary is a lifestyle if you let it be. I felt heat crawl up my neck. I'm trying. Trying isn't driving, she said, laughing. Someone nearby snorted. Tyler looked away, suddenly busy. I said, do you hear yourself? She crossed her arms. I hear honesty. I love you, I said, the words tumbling out. I just need time. Her face softened, then hardened. Love doesn't wait at bus stops. I stood. So that's it? She nodded. I can't be with someone who's stuck. Tyler murmured, Madison. She waved him off. I'm choosing momentum. I grabbed my bag. Enjoy the ride. Outside, the air felt thinner. My phone buzzed, then went quiet. I walked to the stop, sat on the bench, and stared at the route map. The bus hissed closer. Her voice replayed. Ambition has wheels. I looked at my hands, shaking. Before, I believed effort mattered. After, I understood something had broken, and it sounded like laughter fading behind me. I sat there, phone dark, and heard Madison again. You could be more, she said earlier that week. I answered, I am more than a car. She replied, not in the world I want. I whispered, I work nights. She said, work smarter. I asked, do you love me? She said, I love potential. The bus sign flickered. Tyler's voice cut in from memory. Man, confidence looks good on you. I told him, I fake it. He laughed, then buy it. I said, must be nice. He shrugged. It is. Madison had smiled then. See? I clenched my jaw. A woman beside me asked, long wait? Always, I said. She nodded. Buses teach patience. I replied, so does love. She glanced away. The bus crawled past, full. I groaned. Of course. Madison's laugh echoed. You hate delays. I hate being judged, I said aloud. A man nearby said, what? Nothing, I said. My phone buzzed. Madison texted, take care. I typed, you too. I deleted it. The night cooled. I breathed. I will change, I promised. No one answered. Headlights appeared. Doors sighed. I stood, shoulders squared. Before, I waited for permission. After, I chose motion, even if it started on a bus, carrying a broken heart forward. I stepped inside, then stopped. I wasn't ready. I sat again. Madison, I said quietly, arguing with air. You measured me wrong. Her voice answered, prove it. I said, I will. Tyler's engine roared somewhere. I smiled, thin but real. A kid asked, Mister, is this your bus? For now, I said. He grinned. It's fast enough. Yeah, I said, standing as doors opened. The driver nodded. Night, he said. Night, I replied. I took a seat, heart steadying. Before, I shrank. After, I moved. The line between them burned bright. I crossed it, carrying myself, no wheels, but enough strength to begin. The bus pulled away. I watched the street blur. Madison's words faded. My life split clean. Before was doubt. After was movement. I held on, breathing, ready to earn everything, starting now, starting here, starting with me alone, alive, and finally moving forward again. The laughter followed me home. Not loud, not real, just echoes I couldn't shut off. Ryan said, You're crashing on my couch tonight. I'm fine, I said. You're not, he said. You sound hollow. I got dumped for a car. For a mindset, he corrected. Same thing, I said. He handed me a beer. Madison wasn't your whole world. She made it feel small, I said. He sat beside me. Talk to me. I keep hearing her laugh, I said. Like I'm a joke that keeps telling itself. Ryan said, she's shallow. She called it standards, I said. He sighed. Social media is poison. Stop looking. I can't, I said. I opened my phone. Look. He groaned. Don't. Madison's post glowed. Standards matter. Ryan read it. That's cruel. There's Tyler, I said. Look at his hand on her waist. Ryan said, that doesn't mean he won. It feels like I lost, I said. He said, you didn't lose yourself. I don't recognize myself, I said. At work, Ryan asked, did anyone say anything? Nothing, I said. That's worse. He frowned. What do you mean? I walked in, I said. People stopped talking. That's paranoia, he said. No, I said. They smiled like I was invisible. Ryan said, you're projecting. I heard them, I said. Someone whispered. He leaned forward. What did they say? I don't know, I said. It felt like laughing. Ryan said, you can't read minds. I learned to, I said. He shook his head. When? When you're small, I said. You listen harder. He paused. This isn't about Madison. It never is, I said. I remembered a teacher saying, Ethan's potential is quiet. My dad said, keep your head down. Kid said, he's harmless. Ryan said, you're spiraling. I've been spiraling, I said. This just pushed me. He said, Madison doesn't define you. She confirmed something, I said. What? He asked. That I'm easy to overlook, I said. Ryan said, I see you. I know, I said. You always have. He smiled weakly. Then hold on to that. I scrolled again. Another photo. Growth requires standards. Ryan muttered, unfollow her. I did, I said. It still shows up. He said, algorithms suck. So do people, I said. At lunch, a coworker said, you okay, man? I said, yeah. He said, cool, and walked off. Ryan said, that's normal. It feels loud, I said. He asked, what do you want right now? I want the noise to stop, I said. He said, that takes time. I don't want time, I said. I want control. Ryan nodded. Over what? My voice, I said. I sound small. He said, you're not. I am lately, I said. He leaned back. You're allowed to be hurt. I'm tired of being hurt, I said. He said, you don't need revenge. I don't want revenge, I said. I want dignity. He said, then start there. I laughed once. I hate who I've become. Ryan said, temporary. I'm bitter, I said. Quiet. Shrinking. He said, you're healing. I'm hiding, I said. Silence sat between us. Ryan said, what scares you most? That this is it, I said. That I stay powerless. He said, you won't. I don't know how yet, I said. He smiled. You will. I looked at my dark phone. I don't want to feel like this. Ryan said, then don't settle. I won't, I said, finally believing it. The laughter faded a little. Not gone. But quieter. And for the first time, I didn't want to disappear. I just wanted to stand taller, even if no one clapped, even if the room stayed silent, even if the power came slowly, starting inside me, where no one else could take it away. She said it like advice, not cruelty. Ethan, you should date within your lane. I stared at her. My lane. She shrugged. Same income. Same lifestyle. Less pressure. So I'm pressure now, I said. She sighed. You're sensitive. I loved you, I said. I know, she said. That's not the issue. What is? I asked. Reality, she said. I don't want to struggle. I nodded slowly. You think I enjoy it? She checked her phone. I think you're comfortable being average. That word settled in my chest. Average. I said, this is you breaking up with me again. She smiled politely. I thought we were being honest. We are, I said. I see it now. She stood. I hope you find someone. Someone small, I said. She frowned. Don't do that. Do what? I asked. Turn this into resentment. I laughed once. Too late. She left without looking back. No drama. No tears. Just distance. I walked home and said nothing to anyone. My phone buzzed. Ryan. I ignored it. I said to myself, disappear. The word felt heavy. Right. I didn't want to prove her wrong. I didn't want her to notice. I wanted silence. I called Marcus Hill. He answered, you finally ready? I think so, I said. Where are you? He asked. Walking, I said. Good, he said. Movement helps honesty. We met at a diner. He looked the same. Calm. Sharp eyes. He said, what happened? I got categorized, I said. He nodded. That'll do it. I'm angry, I said. Good, he said. Anger can work. I don't want revenge, I said. Even better, he said. Revenge is noisy. I said, I want discipline. He smiled. Now you're speaking my language. He said, what do you waste time on? Comfort, I said. Games. Scrolling. Waiting. He said, sell it. All of it? I asked. Start with one thing, he said. Prove you can let go. He leaned in. You want freedom? Control your inputs. I said, teach me. He said, read less motivation. Track your money. I don't have money, I said. You have habits, he said. Those count. He said, double shifts. I'll burn out, I said. You'll sharpen, he said. What about friends? I asked. Temporary distance, he said. Not isolation. Focus. I nodded. No dating. He said, obviously. I almost smiled. He said, you don't announce change. I won't, I said. You disappear, he said. I worked nights and mornings. I stopped checking notifications. I ate cheap. Slept light. Ryan texted, you alive? I replied, busy. Madison posted again. I didn't look. Marcus said, how's the noise? Quieter, I said. Good, he said. That's your edge forming. One night I held my old console. Scratched. Familiar. I said aloud, you kept me still. I listed it online. A buyer came fast. He asked, you sure? Yes, I said. He handed me cash. Good luck. Thanks, I said. The door closed. The room felt empty. Clean. I whispered, this is the price. I sat on the floor and breathed. No one will recognize me, I said softly. I stood up. I didn't feel powerful yet. Just committed. And for the first time since she laughed, that was enough. Pain became routine. Marcus said, you're late. I worked a double, I said. That's not an excuse, he said. That's a choice. I'm here, I said. Barely, he said. Sit. I sat. My hands shook. He said, how much did you save this month? More than last, I said. Numbers, he said. 700, I said. He nodded once. Good. How much did you want to spend? Everything, I said. That urge, he asked. Still loud, I said. He said, you don't kill urges. You starve them. I'm tired, I said. Good, he said. That means you're working. I said, I don't feel proud. Pride comes later, he said. Survival comes first. He introduced me to Linda Carter. She said, why are you here? I don't want to be broke forever, I said. She smiled. That's fear. Try again. I want control, I said. She nodded. Better. Show me your accounts. I hesitated. They're small. She said, small grows. Ego kills growth. Marcus watched quietly. Linda said, you chase wins. I chase relief, I said. She said, same problem. She pointed. Emergency fund first. That's boring, I said. She said, so is stability. Until it saves you. I asked, what about investing? She said, after patience. How long? I asked. As long as it takes, she said. Marcus smirked. She's tougher than me. Linda said, he's loud. I'm right. I laughed, then stopped. I almost quit yesterday. Marcus said, why didn't you? I remembered her laugh, I said. Linda asked, who? Someone who thought I was small, I said. She said, prove it to yourself, not ghosts. Weeks blurred. Work. Sleep. Repeat. Marcus said, you're thinner. I skip meals, I said. Fix that, he said. Discipline isn't punishment. Linda said, delayed gratification. I hate waiting, I said. She said, then you'll love freedom. My phone lit up one night. Madison, hey. Hope you're well. I stared. Marcus noticed. Don't answer. I want to, I said. Linda said, why? To show I'm better, I said. She said, then you're not. I deleted the message. My chest hurt. I said, that was hard. Marcus said, good. Loneliness crept in. No weekends. No noise. Ryan texted less. I said to Marcus, I feel invisible. He said, you're building underground. Linda said, roots aren't pretty. I worked sick. I worked sore. One night I said, I can't do this. Marcus said, sit. I sat. He said, say it again. I can't, I said. He said, you won't quit. I might, I said. He leaned in. You already disappeared. Don't come back empty. That kept me moving. Linda said, you're improving. I don't feel powerful, I said. She said, power is quiet. I checked my balance. It was growing. Slow. Real. Madison posted again. I didn't look. I said to myself, keep going. Pain woke me. Pain slept with me. But it stopped scaring me. One morning Marcus said, you're different. How? I asked. Calmer, he said. Dangerous calm. Linda said, you're patient now. I learned to wait, I said. She smiled. That's wealth. I walked home alone. No applause. No witnesses. Just breath and steps. I said softly, she doesn't know. And for the first time, I liked that. Success didn't knock. It whispered. Marcus said, check your account. I said, I already did. Check it again, he said. I refreshed. My breath caught. That's not right. He smiled. It is. I didn't do anything special, I said. You did everything boring, he said. That's special. I said, it moved overnight. He said, compounding doesn't ask permission. I laughed quietly. I don't feel rich. Good, he said. You're not stupid. He introduced me to Jason Cole. Jason shook my hand. Marcus says you're disciplined. I'm cautious, I said. Same thing with better PR, Jason said. The showroom smelled expensive. Glass. Chrome. Silence. Jason said, what do you like? I don't know, I said. I don't belong here. He grinned. Nobody does at first. Marcus said, show him the black one. Jason nodded. Bold choice. I touched the door. My hand didn't shake. Jason said, want to sit? Sure, I said. The seat hugged me. Everything was quiet. How does it feel? Jason asked. Calm, I said. He raised an eyebrow. Not excited. I expected fireworks, I said. Jason said, fireworks fade. Marcus said, sign if you're ready. I signed. Jason said, congratulations. I nodded. Thank you. Driving home, I waited for joy. It didn't come. Just silence. Control. At work, Tyler stared. He said, is that yours? Yes, I said. He laughed too fast. Nice. Thanks, I said. Madison's name floated around. Did you hear about Ethan? I kept typing. Tyler said, "You into cars now?" "I'm into peace," I said. He frowned. "Right. Jason called later. You handled that well." "I felt invisible," I said. He said, "That's power." Marcus said, "Any regrets?" "No," I said. "Just clarity." Madison texted Ryan. Ryan told me. "She's asking questions," Ryan said. "Let her," I said. Ryan said, "You okay?" "I am," I said. "That's new." At lunch, Tyler said, "Must be nice." "It is," I said. "But not how you think." He scoffed. "Money changes people. It reveals them," I said. He went quiet. Marcus said, "You notice the shift?" "Yes," I said. "They're louder." "Fear," he said. Jason said, "You want another deal?" "Not yet," I said. "Why?" he asked. "I don't chase anymore," I said. He laughed. "You learned fast." I scrolled past Madison's post. Standards evolve. I smiled once. I said to myself, she rejected a version of me. Marcus said, "That version died." "It did," I said. Driving at night, the city blurred. I remembered the bus stop. I said, "Funny." Marcus asked, "What?" "The car doesn't matter," I said. "It never did," he said. Jason said, "Most people buy loud." "I bought quiet," I said. He nodded. "That lasts." I parked and sat. No music. No rush. I said, "Money didn't fix me." Marcus said, "It gave you leverage." I said, "Control." He said, "Exactly." Tyler avoided me now. Madison watched from afar. I didn't look back. I stepped out, locked the door, and felt nothing dramatic. Just steady ground. Success whispered. And for the first time, I listened. Madison said, "Ethan, wow." I said, "Madison." She smiled like nothing broke. "It's been a while." "It has," I said. She glanced at my car. "You look different." "I feel different," I said. She laughed lightly. "I knew you had it in you." I said, "You didn't." She waved her hand. "Don't start." "You started," I said. She stepped closer. "Can we talk?" "We are," I said. She said, "I miss you." I felt it. The pull. The old reflex. I said, "You missed the version you didn't want." She frowned. "That's not fair." "Neither was, stay in your lane," I said. Her smile tightened. I was honest. "So am I," I said. She sighed. "Tyler's been stressed." "That's not my problem," I said. She looked surprised. "You're colder." "I'm calmer," I said. At work, Tyler slammed a drawer. He said, "Must be nice, rising fast." I said, "I rise slow." He scoffed. "Enjoy it while it lasts." "Are you okay?" I asked. He glared. "Fine." Madison texted later. "Coffee?" I stared at it. I typed. I erased. I didn't reply. Marcus said, "Why engage?" I didn't, I said. "Good," he said. Observation teaches more. I met Sophie Adams at a quiet cafe. She said, "You're punctual." "I respect time," I said. She smiled. "That's rare." She didn't scan me. She didn't ask about status. She asked, "What do you enjoy?" "Peace," I said. She nodded. "Me too." I felt something ease. Madison called. I let it ring. Sophie said, "You don't owe anyone access." "I'm learning that," I said. Tyler missed a deadline. People noticed. He snapped, "I've got pressure." I said, "We all do." Madison showed up again. "Why are you ignoring me?" "I'm not," I said. "I'm choosing." She said, "You're punishing me." "I'm protecting myself," I said. She lowered her voice. "Tyler isn't who I thought." I said, "Neither were you." She flinched. I felt satisfaction. I hated that I felt it. Sophie said, "You look distracted." "Old ghosts," I said. She said, "Do they still haunt you?" "Less every day," I said. Madison argued with Tyler in the parking lot. I watched from my car. Tyler shouted, "You wanted more." She said, "I wanted stability." I didn't move. Marcus texted. "See it?" "Yes," I said. "Let it play," he said. Madison approached later. "Say something." I said, "I already did." She whispered, "I made a mistake." I paused. Anger. Temptation. Control. "I hope you learn from it," I said. I walked away. Sophie called. "Dinner?" "Yes," I said. Tyler avoided me now. Madison watched from a distance. I didn't chase closure. I didn't gloat. I just watched. And for the first time, that was power. Madison said, "Ethan, can you give me a ride?" I paused. "A ride?" "My car's in the shop," she said. "Just this once." I looked at her. "Where to?" "Home," she said. "Please." I unlocked the door. "Get in." She exhaled like relief hurt. "Thank you." I drove in silence. She said, "You didn't have to." "I know," I said. She stared ahead. "I misjudged you." I said nothing. She added, "I was wrong." I kept driving. She said, "Say something." "I'm listening," I said. She swallowed. "I judged your worth." "Yes," I said. She nodded. "By things that didn't matter." "They mattered to you," I said. She said, "I see that now." I said, "Now?" She flinched. "Tyler lost his job." "I heard," I said. "He's in debt," she said. Angry. Blaming everyone. "I'm not surprised," I said. She said, "I thought confidence meant security." "It doesn't," I said. She whispered, "I was shallow." I said, "You were afraid." She looked at me. "You forgive me?" I said, "I understand you." "That's not forgiveness," she said. "No," I said. "It's clarity." She hugged herself. "I miss us." "There was no us," I said. Her eyes filled. "That's cruel." "It's honest," I said. She said, "I would do things differently." "I already did," I said. She said, "Is there a chance?" I stopped at a light. "For what?" "For us," she said. I shook my head. "You don't miss me." She whispered, "I miss who you are now." "That's worse," I said. She cried quietly. I felt power. I didn't like it. She said, "You changed." "I chose myself," I said. She said, "I needed you." "You needed comfort," I said. She snapped, "You're punishing me." I said, "I'm refusing to pretend." We pulled up to her place. She didn't move. "Say you care." "I care," I said. "Enough not to lie." She laughed through tears. "That hurts." "I know," I said. She opened the door. "You won." I said, this isn't a game. She said, it feels like one. It felt like survival, I said. She stepped out. If I'd waited? You didn't, I said. She said, I was impatient. Yes, I said. She closed the door slowly. I drove away. Tyler texted me later. You think you're better? I replied, no. He wrote, you took everything. I typed, you lost it yourself. He didn't respond. At work, whispers followed him. I kept my head down. Madison messaged again. One more chance to talk. I didn't reply. Sophie called. How was your day? Clear, I said. She said, you sound steady. I am, I said. She asked, regrets? No, I said. Madison stood outside one morning. She said, I waited. I know, I said. She said, I finally see you. I said, I was always here. She whispered, I needed a ride. I said, you needed direction. She said, can you help me? I already did, I said. She cried. How? By not saving you, I said. She looked broken. I felt sad. Not guilty. She said, goodbye. Goodbye, I said. I drove off calm. Not victorious. Just honest. And that was enough. The garage was quiet. Too quiet. I said, this is it. The cars stared back. Polished. Perfect. Empty. Sophie said, you sound disappointed. I thought it would feel louder, I said. She leaned against the door. Winning usually does in movies. I chased silence, I said. I got it. She asked, and now I hear myself, I said. She stepped closer. Who are you without the fight? I didn't answer. She said, that pause scares you. Yes, I said. She touched the hood. You don't love these. I don't hate them, I said. That's not the same, she said. Ryan showed up later. He said, I didn't think you'd call. I didn't, I said. You came anyway. He nodded. I owe you. For what? I asked. For doubting you, he said. For thinking you'd quit. I almost did, I said. He laughed softly. I know. He looked around. So this is success. It's storage, I said. Ryan said, you okay? I'm calm, I said. That scares me more, he said. Marcus arrived last. He said, you look bored. I feel finished, I said. He shook his head. You look unfinished. Sophie asked, what did he start? Marcus said, discipline. Not money. I said, I remember. Marcus said, why did you begin? I said, to stop feeling small. And, he asked. I don't feel small, I said. But, he pressed. But I don't feel big, I said. Sophie said, good. I frowned. Good. She said, size isn't the goal. Truth is. Ryan asked, so what now? I said, I don't know. Marcus said, then you're finally honest. I walked between the cars. I said, I thought revenge would taste better. Sophie said, revenge is loud at first. Ryan said, then hollow. Marcus said, you didn't do this for them. I know, I said. I forgot that. Sophie asked, do you miss her? No, I said. I miss who I was before bitterness. Ryan said, he's still here. I said, quieter. Marcus said, that's maturity. I leaned against the wall. I built armor. Sophie said, armor is heavy. I'm tired, I said. She said, then rest. Ryan smiled. You earned that. Marcus said, don't worship the tools. I won't, I said. Then what will you build next? He asked. I thought. Myself, I said. Sophie nodded. Finally. Ryan said, proud of you. I looked at him. Thank you. Marcus said, this silence. Yes, I said. Keep it, he said. It's rare. They left one by one. The door closed. The garage stayed quiet. I stood there and breathed. No audience. No opponent. Just me. I said aloud, I'm enough. The cars didn't answer. I smiled. They didn't need to. I turned off the lights. And walked out whole. Madison stood across the street, pretending to check her phone. I saw her anyway. Ryan said, she's been there a while. I know, I said. You want me to say something? He asked. No, I said. I don't need to. He nodded. That's new. It's final, I said. We sat in silence. Ryan said, Tyler quit. I heard, I said. He moved, Ryan added. Different city. Good, I said. Ryan studied me. No reaction. I already had it, I said. Months ago. He smiled. You're different. I stopped waiting, I said. Madison looked up. Our eyes met. She froze. She didn't wave. I didn't either. Ryan said, she looks small. She's human, I said. He said, you could walk over. I won't, I said. Why? He asked. Because I don't need closure, I said. He leaned back. You really changed. I finally chose myself, I said. Ryan left. I stayed. Madison turned away first. I felt nothing sharp. Just quiet. My phone rang. Sophie said, where are you? Downtown, I said. Drive safe, she said. I always do, I said. She paused. You sound peaceful. I am, I said. I hung up and walked to my car. The engine started smooth. I said aloud, I don't need to be chosen. The word settled. At a light, a guy revved beside me. He glanced over. Waiting. I didn't look back. The light changed. I drove normal. No rush. No proof. I remembered the bus stop. I said, thank you, to no one. Madison's voice echoed faintly. Standards matter. I replied quietly, so does self-respect. The road opened. I drove through familiar streets, then turned where I usually didn't. No destination. Just motion. Marcus texted. You good? Yes, I typed. He replied, that's winning. I passed places tied to old versions of me. I didn't slow down. A song came on. I didn't change it. I laughed once. Not loud. Real. I said, I'm free. No one argued. At another light, my reflection stared back. I said, you did enough. The light turned green. I kept driving. Not to be seen. Not to impress. Just to feel the road under me. The city thinned. Night widened. I rolled down the window. Air rushed in. I breathed. I remembered waiting for texts. Waiting for approval. Waiting to be picked. I said, never again. The road curved. I followed it. No audience. No competition. Just choice. I realized I didn't win anything. I stopped playing. That was the victory. I drove until the city lights faded. Then I turned back. Not because I had to. Because I wanted to. I smiled. And kept going.